Hello world, my name is Tim Roswick, and today I want to talk about games you can't lose. Yes, games you can't lose, but maybe you can win them. I don't know. So it turns out there's a big market for games that you can't really lose. It never really occurred to me that this was a thing. Like I never really thought about it, but like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, okay, do games need win and loss states? Is that why we play games, to win or lose? I mean, most games have win-loss states, right? Like what makes a game different that you can't win? I don't know. So anyway, as we talk about this, if you want to join a daily discussion on this in Discord, we actually have a daily discussion channel where we talk about today's video topic. You should head on over there and check it out and talk about it with us and share your opinion, because all I can really do is share my opinion on this. There's no data, I don't know any of this. So what I'm going to do is kind of share what I think. And what I think is, the more I think about it, I think games that don't have a lose state, where you can't lose, right? Are they puzzles or are they games? Like, games without loss states, are they really games? I remember Nicole's my girlfriend. We Weird flex, but okay. We went to Dave and Buster's one time, and I was having such a good time watching her pick games to play. So if you don't know what Dave and Buster's is, it's basically like an adult arcade, adult in the sense that like they sell alcohol, not adult in the different sense. But it's an arcade, right? Like you go there and you play games. Which in the midst of pandemic, it actually seems like a horrible idea to touch a bunch of things other people are touching. But back before this, when we went, it was actually a lot of fun. And one of the things that I had fun doing is watching her move around and pick a game to play based purely on visual aesthetic, right? She was just like, oh, I want to play this. Okay. But one of the games she kept wanting to play was this Monopoly game. And I was like, okay, well, sure, we'll play the Monopoly game. And the game basically was, it had a little spinny wheel. You spin the wheel and all these lights go off, and then it moves your character X amount of spaces, and then a bunch of lights go off again, and then you earn 5 tickets or whatever, and it prints out the tickets and it says good job. And I was like, wait, that's the game? You just paid $1 to play this, or 50 cents or whatever? And she was like, I love this game. And I was like, game? You mean you love this computer machine with lights? What do you love? Like, what is this? And she's like, I don't know, I like it. And I'm asking her questions, I'm drilling her. I can tell she's getting uncomfortable because I'm very interested in this, right? Like, I'm trying to figure out what the hell she likes about this thing, because to me, I'm just like, this is not a game. And I'm saying, okay, well, like, do you like spinning the wheel? And she's like, yeah. Do you like what happens on the screen? Yeah. Do you like the lights? Yeah. Okay, but we're not getting anywhere. So after talking to her for about an hour, the whole ride home, I wouldn't shut up about this because I was just super interested in this. And all she said was, it made me feel good. After an hour conversation, it made me feel good. And I was like, wow. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. We're getting somewhere. A game that arguably doesn't have a win state or a loss state. A game which is arguably not even a game, right? Like, how I define games is a win or loss state, is a thing that you do with an outcome, with a win or loss state. It made me rethink what I think of as games, because now I was like, does it still count if someone can play this thing that arguably, like, even the spinner thing, I'm like, it really could have no impact on the game, right? Like because you spin this wheel, but then the actual like spinner of move count was on a screen. So that whole thing could have been like a video and she would have never known. Like, as a programmer, I think about this shit. Okay, she doesn't care. But as a programmer, I'm like thinking about like, okay, the whole literal thing could be a simulation that just has no bearing on user input whatsoever. But that's not what she looks at. She looks at the accomplishment, the perceived accomplishment, the flashing lights, the theme of the thing, the the recognition of the Monopoly brand, this idea of a thing that just told me good job for not doing anything, right? Maybe it's a millennial thing, I don't know. Maybe them damn millennials are, we like them participation trophies, right? Maybe that's what that game is. I don't know. I didn't consider it a game at the time, but it made me second guess, like, okay, what's the purpose of games? Like, can a purpose of a game be to make you feel good? And if so, isn't that game without a win or loss state still a game? Or is it not? Now, I probably should tell you a little bit about Nicole. Is Nicole, we can't play competitive multiplayer games together because her and losing, they're not the best buddies, to say. So it's interesting that the opposite end of the spectrum, not losing but like winning without really doing anything, in my opinion, can actually have a physical effect on somebody. It can make somebody feel good. And then it also begs the question, like, what's the difference between that good feeling and like a good feeling from like a game that you legitimately won? Is there a real difference between those feelings? Is there a difference between a game feeling of accomplishment or a project that you created and that feeling of accomplishment, right? Emotionally, they're probably the same thing. Like neurologically, biologically, they're probably the same thing. Your brain doesn't know the difference. We can argue back and forth. Video games are a waste of time. Okay, boomer. But you know, the basic idea that video games cause emotions can last with you, right? Like I think back to all the times that I spent with my brother playing online games, and we played all kinds of games. We played competitive multiplayer games, strategy games. Sometimes we're just playing a different game and we chat. And like I think back and I can remember some game moments with him, but like the stuff that I remember isn't necessarily the details of what happened. It's like how the game made me feel. It really is. And Nicole was the same thing. She didn't say, I liked the lights. She didn't say, I liked the dice or the board or the Monopoly man. She said, it made me feel good. That was an insight. Like, games have power. And games can have that same power without a win or loss state. So my definition of whether a game needs a win or loss state might be flawed if the game can cause those same emotions without those things, right? If the point of a game is to cause a positive emotion in a player or to give a player an experience, right? Some people define games differently. Like some people think it's a thing with which you interact with. It's an interactable experience, which I guess this Monopoly game might classify under that because you have to roll the stupid ball thing. But I don't know. And that's why I want your thoughts, because this is like a exploration of the philosophical ideas of game design. But I think it's important because someone like me who's made, 20, 30 games, I don't even know how many games I've made at this point. It really makes me question what is a game, and if I'm wrong about what a game is, have I been narrow-minded this whole time and like really not thought about the experiences that I'm making? And maybe there are other experiences that I can make that I didn't even consider, because every game that I make by default has a win and loss state. Maybe there are things that we can explore outside of that and deliver the same mission, deliver the same feelings to people. It's worth exploring. So head over to the Discord. The link is down below in the description. Check out the daily discussion thread. Let's talk about this. I think it'll be super interesting. But I want to say thank you to these people right here. They help me keep doing what I'm doing, making daily videos on YouTube every single day. Also, it's Friday, which means I'm streaming live on Twitch, so you can hit me up on twitch.tv/TimRoswick. Link is also down in the description. 3 p.m. Eastern is when my Twitch stream starts, Thursdays and Fridays, 3 p.m. Eastern. so you can see me there. But I want to say thank you to these people. If you want your name on this list, you can head over to patreon.com/GameDevUnderground. But either way, my name is Tim Ruswick, and I will see you again. Monday. Bye.